big bad
Hey y'all, my
John.
name is John Mitchell. I'm a certified financial coach. The purpose of this video and this YouTube channel is to teach you how to master the personal finance basics. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the dangers of buying a house while being in the military. As you saw from some of my shorts last week and then a couple of my shorts at the end of 2025, my wife and I are PCSing to the Fort Leonard Wood area, and we're looking to buy a house in Rolla. Buying a house from afar is no easy feat, which is why I flew in to look at a house that we were under contract on, but we decided to pull out of the contract for due to issues with the foundation in the house. Naturally, of course, that brings up the issue. Wow, John, why would you do that? Why would you buy from so far away? Like that's got to have a lot of trouble. And you're right, there is a lot of trouble to it. Why I'm doing it will be another video. Today, we're just going to be discussing some of the pitfalls and dangers that you need to be aware of when shopping for a house from afar and things you should be doing when you look to buy that next house. Starting off with an easy softball pitch, go look at the house. There are rare exceptions for some of you incredible real estate professionals out there who can pull off not looking at a house and buying a great deal, and that's awesome. But for you average military buyers out there, you don't need to go look at a house. So as you're looking through your search on realtor.com or Zillow or pick your website, you need to make sure that the houses you narrow it down to, you can at least go look at before you buy. In my case, we put a contract on a house before I looked at it, but we had it built into the contract that I would come out and look at the house before closing. So we had that protection in case it wasn't going to work out, which in this case, that was a good thing because we found there were foundation issues, and that's why we pulled out of this most recent contract. The next reason is making sure you know your purpose for buying the house. If you're going to buy it and sell it when you leave, make sure you know there'll be enough equity or the capability to put sweat equity into the property when you buy it so that you can sell it for a profit when you leave. If you're looking to buy it for a rental, you need to make sure that you run the numbers on the house to make sure you can rent it out positively when you leave. That's Abby and my strategy. We're looking to buy houses everywhere we move and then slowly pay them off over time so that we can collect that rental income later on in our retirement. Now, a quick down and dirty on what the numbers means, and then we'll move on to the next tip. Running the numbers means that within your mortgage, so your principal payment, your insurance payment, your taxes, your interest, your property management fee, unless you plan to self-manage, which if you're moving far away or PCSing from the place you're buying, I would recommend using a property manager to keep your life a little bit simpler. Possibly lawn care or any other expenses like these are all covered by the rent you plan to put the house up for. So please make sure that the rent you put the house up for is competitive in the area too. Don't just have a number of rent in mind that isn't competitive in your area, or else you're not going to be able to rent your house or cover the expenses when you PCS. If you have not already, like and subscribe to this video as it helps me see what content you all like and want to see in the future. I think this is a general good rule of thumb. Don't spend more than your BAH on a house. While the government says the BAH is supposed to only cover about 95% of your housing expenses, you can find houses in the area you're looking that are at or below the BAH rates. Just because you have the money to spend doesn't mean you have to spend that money. A crucial challenge when looking to buy a house from afar is not being able to actually go see the house. So if you've been following my shorts lately, you could see that Abby and I were looking at buying this house recently. We made sure on paper it looked good. That's why I came out, is because on paper it looked good to us. So now we just need to go out and look at it. If you didn't watch the short, the bottom line is we decided not to purchase this house. We had it under contract. We were going through the hoops to purchase the house, but we decided to go against it. The reason for that is because once I was out here, I was able to look at the house, look at the foundation, look at the inside, and we decided based off of some of the foundation stuff that we saw that we didn't want to proceed with it. Now, I didn't have anyone official come out and check it out. My background is construction management as a degree, which I'm now almost 5 years removed from. So I'm not the best guy out there, but my dad's a civil engineer. So I found an expert in my field who I could trust to use to evaluate the house. So I went to him with some pictures of it, and he helped me decide that was probably not a good investment for us to make in the long term. Which that brings up another point. When you're looking to buy a house from afar, please do an inspection. Don't forego the inspection. Now, if you yourself are going to look at it and you're confident in your ability to assess the house and want to take that risk, hey man, it's your party. You're more than welcome to go do that. But I highly recommend you have someone come out and inspect the house. And then when you get the inspection report, make sure you go through it. If you don't know what you're looking at in the inspection report, ask someone to walk you through it, or ask the inspector you have to get on a call with you and go through the report with you so that you understand what's going on in the house. Another challenge when buying a house is just having the time to go do it. I I had some leftover parental leave, so I've used that for my HBL, and I had a week extra. So that's why I'm here during a typical work week, but I'm still on leave going to look at this house. Now, it stinks because I could be using this leave to spend the time with my family, but Abby and I value our strategy so much in going out and buying houses that we know the investment of me going out now to look at it will pay dividends for our future, so that's why I went out. Of course, with traveling out here brings up another question. I had to buy plane tickets and a rental car and a hotel and spend extra on food to come out here. When you're doing your budget, if you know you're thinking of buying a house and you know you need to go see it, make sure you budget this as a line item for the month in which you go out to see the house. I know, I get it, I'm living it right now. It sucks that you have to dedicate, $300, $400, $500, $600 to come out and see a house. That's where you plan to be next. But if you wanna do this strategy, or if you're looking to buy and want to profit on it when you leave, sometimes that's just what you got to do. The biggest and most important challenge, and we'll finish with this one for today, is trusting the Army or military to actually give you orders that won't change. Now, I've been very blessed in my career so far. I've only had 2 duty assignments and I haven't had any orders change. I've had plenty of notice where I was going, so I had time to go buy a house, look at a house, and make sure I was good to go with that. The scary part though out there is you may even have orders, but when it comes to like a month or 20 days or 10 days from PCSing, the Army or military may decide, oh, actually, we want you to go here now. Or maybe you come upon drill orders. And that sucks, especially if you already bought a house in preparation to move, but had your orders changed to somewhere else. Unfortunately, there's no real way to mitigate that. That's just how the Army is. That's how the military is. Sometimes they need you one place and then they change their minds, which I've heard happens often. I've been blessed it hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm sure it's inevitable at some point. This is why it's most important is when you decide or when you know what your strategy is for buying the home in the first place, again, whether it be to buy and sell when you PCS or buy and make as a rental, you need to make sure that your whole mortgage, your interest, your taxes, and all that good stuff, your property management fee is all covered at the day in which you buy the house. So let's say, for example, we did go through with this house and bought it today. If, let's say, Triple C was canceled, I was sent somewhere else. Well, in that case, I knew we could rent the house out for a certain amount today, and that would cover the mortgage if we had to go figure out something else. As many of you know, and as I hope I've conveyed to you today, buying a house while being in the military is no easy feat, but if it's a part of your strategy, it could be totally worth it if you put in the work. If you're looking for a financial coach to help you learn more about real estate, learn more about building a strategy around real estate, and then making it happen while being in the military, sign up for a free appointment today with the link in the description or in the comment section down below where we can work on a plan for you. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see y'all in the next video.